to my fellow freedom lovers, sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to LO3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful, swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date is Sunday, February 7th, 2021. Yeah, so I decided to take a day off on podcasting. So usually, readjust myself at times. However, I actually went to see Kristen Hall speak on the whole countering tyranny, on the COVID-19 edicts and all that. It was very good as she explains everything on a Florida constitutional perspective, inherited rights, and don't need a consent. Because the whole thing is this, folks: if there's something that's repugnant to our Constitution, whether it's federal or state, it is invalid. All right, and there's stuff I knew, but she put a lot more clarification on it, and it was really worth it. So I recommend folks go to chrisinhall.com to check out her show. Her husband's awesome as well, and she just came and went. Okay, so I would love to talk to her, but they all have a schedule to meet. But that is how it goes. But it was a good crowd. I met the one young older lady that called out all the borough commissioners on their violating their oath. You know, that was on September 1st. I chat with her, and she's like passionate, which is fine. But the whole thing is, like, we've all been, like I told her, we've all been swindled one way or the other. Instead of bickering and all that, you at least are taking action. So that's what counts. So I'll tell everyone in there, you got to spread that love of information. And trust me, like I told people before, the more you know about your rights, the more you exercise it, the less you fear. You got to spread that message of truth everywhere you go. Not just in South Florida or the United States, but around the world, because there's so much oppression going on. I saw one video from another COVID lockdown, and all hell broke loose. There's a big protest, and there's one rapper in Madrid, Spain. And, of course, friction in India with the farmers. Yeah, so the big awakening is occurring right now. And, of course, the whole COVID-19 passports they have in Israel and Sweden and looks like Denmark saying hell no to it. So you're not alone. We're not alone in this fight, my friends. It is a beautiful time to be alive, and that's why when I was talking with one colleague of mine that was concerned about HR 127, he's like wigging out. So I said, and I go, okay, what are you gonna do? He said, I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, you remember the NRA? He goes, yeah. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You got to know your representatives. He's like, what if? But what if don't mean dilly squat. You got to do. But don't go, I got to do this, let everyone else do my job. No, we all have obligations. And I digress. It's just, but he's a good guy, don't get me wrong. But I gave him some information is what you do. Don't be afraid of these bastards, okay? Like I told everyone, bills like that are null and void, but they don't want you to know. But you gotta give them the big middle finger, because the bottom line is this, folks. They need us more, we need them. If the federal government shuts down, we can still live. Good grief. You got all these centralized Karens out here, trying to tell people how to live and how to contemplate. They can't even take care of themselves. And I remember last night, I was chatting with one of my neighbors in the area. It looks like the county representative was trying to go and trying to tell them how to tell one place how to do their job. They told them to stick it. I'm like, damn, I missed that, like, good grief. Because look, if people like that come to you and tell you how to run your life and your business, you don't even have a damn clue. And they're from governmental delegates, governmental representatives. Hey, can I go to your house and have sex with my wife indefinite time until further notice? Yeah, so go in there and give them a taste of their own medicine and see how they react. They'll go crazy. Hey, can I borrow your car? Can I borrow your SUV? It's the county. I pay taxes for them. Imagine that. If folks start doing that, they would freak. Okay, they would defecate in their own underwear, okay, or panties. So this is why, and it's not being spiteful, okay, or using animosity, direct animosity, but sticking up for principles. And I'm like, man, that's how you do it, folks. And things are happening, so I'm very thrilled, and it's exciting. And people ask me still about the whole COVID-19 thing. I'm not saying it never existed. Please. But if you believe we're going to shut everything down to lower the curve, give me a break, folks. You vigil on your health. That's one thing for sure. You don't have to be around crowded places. That's fine. I understand that. There's times I've been going to a lot of places myself. But why should I have the state tell me how to contemplate? You shouldn't either. Peaceful non-compliance is the key, what Chris Ann Hall has to say about that. And it's great. And she's absolutely correct. Now we got technology, folks. It's hard for them to fool us. That's what's great about it. So via internet and all that, they're trying to shut that down. But decentralization is always going to be the key of liberty. So always remember that. We don't need all these big sites anyway. In due time. We using that platform and spread the message of love. If someone gets offended, who cares? And I was like looking at this one video presentation from Lisa Haven, and it's in reference to the Democratic Secular of America, it's called. Yeah, and I was like looking at some of their wacky documents. Yeah, talk about Twilight Zone, Orwellianism, separation of church and state. It's like, what are you talking about? We had that for a long time. But now you want to go after people that on their own personal creed? You know, you get out of Dodge, you bunch of globalist scumbags. Yeah. Another jackass institution. So everyone's out here. Looks like some places is going to be closing early for their church at the Super Bowl. They'll be bowing down, watching the game, and doing their communist fist in the air, or maybe kneeling down. Be like from the Mickey Mouse Club with Colin Kaepernick, which is not controversial enough anyway. He has his free speech, but come on, brother. You got to get a clue. Your communist fist is equivalent to the Caesar salute, or what the Nazis used. Heil Hitler. The communist fist and the Hitler salute are all the same. It's tyrannical. Government knows. Government take care of me. So please, don't even waste your energy. I know my rights, not to be a puppet. Like many of them out there, they want all our kids to look up to. And yeah, so I'm just a little bit inspired right now. So this is why we have inherited rights. And like I said before, even with Lisa Haven, about constitutional rights. No, you got to say natural rights. And that's out of love. Because constitutional rights came from government. Our natural rights came from a creator that represents the universal cosmos. Whatever your religious deity, that's fine. And I'm not, I'm not anti-Christian either, okay? I'm not anti-Bible at all. But I take time to study these things myself and share it with you guys. So, I know I'm ranting here a little bit. And I'm like, wow. So I'm just in that little bit, let's a little bit stoked right now. It's a little cloudy. It looks like some rain here and there. But the atmosphere is very cool. And of course, the whole thing is, don't waste your energy on the whole feds know best. And of course, you got all these dinkleberries out there that laugh about when I say President Trump's impeachment was a bill of attainder, violates the due process. People laugh. You know what? If it happens to people you support, don't go crying on your social media sites. All these SMGs, which stands for social media geniuses, can't even tie their own shoelaces. So, I'll hear all these beakers on parade. Me. So, all right, well, enough of me ranting here. I know it's, pretty lengthy. Forgive me on this, folks. I'm just in that. Like I said, I hate repeating myself. So this is when we start off. I'm going to do a couple of things here. It's in reference to the Orwellian state. It's from Bob Livingston, from the BobLivingstonLetter.com. And Bob Livingston Alerts, of course. And what you can do if you want to support these guys, subscribe. It'd be great. Anything I try to read or narrate from like independent sites, so forth, I encourage you folks to support them. And because, hey, that's how I like to see it. Like, that's how I like to see that. If you give them $1, that'd be great. And even throw it at me if you want. That's cool. So I'm not desperate or anything like that, but I just want to put that message out. A lot of us putting time in our hands. There's others that do great research. Just folks here do it for a living. All right. So okay. Well, enough said that. Enough of that. This is what I have to say here. Big Brother and others are stalking your car. Ron Paul recently said that government will use COVID-19 as an excuse to dramatically expand the surveillance state via real-time tracking. I hate to break the news to him, but it's happening already. In fact, if you get that creepy feeling that somebody's watching you, you're probably right. And Ron Paul's also right that your privacy is at risk. Even your safety could be at risk. What if you drove to the wrong place at the wrong time, then you get falsely accused of a crime? At the very least, your movements and habits are being sold as data. Cameras are everywhere recording the movements of all who passes them. Traffic cams, dash cams, and security cams in stores, office buildings, and home monitor your comings and goings, in still photos and video. By themselves, these images can reveal what went on a particular location at a particular time. Many can't directly identify who was involved, but in the case of automobiles, simple scanners can read license plate numbers, exposing the identity of the vehicle and its owner if it's not its occupants. Big Brother is using this technology to spy on millions of vehicles traveling the nation's highways. The Wall Street Journal reported it had learned from present and former officials and government documents that the Justice Department has been building a national database to keep tabs on vehicles all over the country in a secret spy program that scans and stores hundreds of millions of records on the movements of motorists. Could we all say, God bless the New World Order? Tyranny is the only way. Absolutely. So the intent of the license plate tracking program, which is run by the Drug Enforcement Administration under Justice Department, is to seize cars, cash, and other assets from drug runners. According to a government document, you mean allegedly, suspect, assumed. But that's okay. If we do it, we can get in big trouble, right? Can we say exceptionalism? All right, so I'm going to continue on here. The program originally focused on states in the Southwest, including the major drug smuggling routes through Arizona, California, Nevada, New Mexico, and Texas. Florida and Georgia were added. And the program expanded eventually to include the entire U.S. The database can be accessed by other law enforcement agencies hunting for vehicles that may be associated with a variety of serious crimes, such as kidnapping, murder, and rape. It also has been used in conjunction with the Amber Alert program to help find abducted children. The national database was launched in 2008 and was made available to state and local law enforcement agencies a later year. The requests for information from the database are handled by the El Paso Intelligence Center in Texas, known as EPIC in law enforcement circles. The database can now be accessed by any participating police agency 24 hours a day. No crime, too bad. The cooperation between the feds and other law enforcement agencies is a two-way street. Data recorded by local state police dash cams and traffic cams is being fed into the database. Through officials will not reveal which states are involved or the concerns of giving useful information to criminals. The program captures data about vehicle movement showing the time, direction, and location, and in some cases, records images of the occupants clear enough to make out who they are. With images collected from multiple sources, the data can show a very accurate path of travel for a given vehicle, not just the drug runners, but your car as well. The stated purpose of the license plate tracking program is to enable asset forfeiture. a weapon used by the DEA to seize property from the criminals. According to an internal email in 2010, this is the controversial practice of seizing cars, cash, and other valuables from suspected criminals to ratchet up the cost of doing illegal business. The practice is being questioned because of reported instances when seizures have allegedly been made without any evidence of a crime involved. Our DEA employee even suggested using surveillance cameras to snap photos of vehicle license plates near gun shows in the U.S. to check up on gun trafficking. Hooray! I love the state. I am owned and branded by them. That's right. Field peasants. Yes, boss. Everything's great, boss. Yep. So I will proceed. DEA Administrator Michael Leonhardt issued a statement in January saying it was only a suggestion that was never authorized and never put into action. Penile microphone rudder for that person, that man. And of course, an Associated Press report said that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives did not authorize or approve the license plate surveillance plan. Still, I can't help wondering if some eager agent operating independently has tried the idea out. When the government invades your privacy, whether by searching your car or tracking it, it is supposed to notify you of that intrusion. Except now that the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act has been reauthorized for another 2 years under Section 702. The government is required to tell individuals that it has spied on them only in a very, very limited circumstances when the government intends to use evidence that was gathered with the help of such a search in a criminal trial or other legal proceeding, according to the ACLU. So much for privacy in your car. California is even considering using garbage trucks to spy on citizens. And did you know that tow truck companies and repo crews photograph millions of plates a day? From a Car and Driver magazine, they have scanners mounted on tow trucks, even on purpose-built camera cars whose sole mission is to drive around and collect plate scans. Each scan is GPS tagged and stamped with the date and time, feeding a massive data trove to any law enforcement agency or government-approved private industry willing to pay for it. And I'll tell you this, folks, in Florida, when it comes to a public-private enterprise, it violates Article 7, Section 10, if I'm correct. Article 7, Section 10 of the Florida Constitution. Okay, so I'll just let you know that for my friends in Florida. You've probably been tagged at the office, at a mail, or even in your own driveway. And the companies that sell specialized monitoring software that assembles all these sightings into a reliable profile to stand to profit hugely. And now, with the drone-mounted camera soon to be fitting all over the sky, you basically want to be able to move without being observed and recorded by someone else. Fair game? The problem with all this is that there are no consistent national rules that governs how law enforcement people can use this information, how long it can be kept, and how widely it can be distributed. That opens a huge can of squirmy privacy worms. Of course, the basic presumption is that anytime you are visible from a public viewpoint, you're fair game to have your picture taken by anybody, including the government. But how that information is collected, stored, and shared and used by government agencies is a matter of growing concern among privacy advocates. Any database that collects detailed location information about Americans not suspected of crimes raises very serious privacy questions, said Jay Stanley, a senior policy analyst at the ACLU. It is unconscionable that technology with such far-reaching potential would be deployed in such secrecy. People might disagree about exactly how we should use such powerful surveillance technologies, but it should be democratically decided. it shouldn't be done in secret. And to go on here, I have often said to you that I am all for giving law enforcement agencies useful tools to nab criminals. But when those tools threaten the privacy of citizens, a line must be drawn. In the case, the license plate reading technology is indiscriminate and records images of all traffic passing before the camera, even families on the way to grandma's house for Sunday dinner. The fact that the license plate reader program is so secretive may be understandable given the nature of its purpose. The less the crooks know about it, the better. But the big question of oversight and control to prevent abuse concerns me. There is not much you can do to avoid having your car photographed when you drive. Even license plate scanning shields don't stop photographs. Possibility is the GPS-enabled radar detector. These store cameras' locations and use their GPS locations to warn that you are the approaching one. You can walk more, ride a bike, take public transportation, even rent a car, although there is record of a credit card transaction. You can also take a taxi and pay cash, or use a car sharing service. You shall be monitored through surveillance cameras, but there is no license plate numbers involved. Carrierdata.org is attempting to create a driver bill of rights, but the simple fact is we do much of the damage to ourselves. We're sharing our private data with more and more devices that are directly connected to our cars, and that data is being extracted. Passing laws to limit the use of license plate data and location data makes more people feel good. But government routinely ignores these laws in the name of protecting us. So you can contact your city, state, and federal lawmakers and let them know of your privacy concerns over the license plate reader technology in the hands of government. But don't be surprised if the only thing that works is changing your behavior. Absolutely. And I remember the time I seen that on Fort Lauderdale Beach a few years ago on Memorial Day weekend. They had these license plate readers. And one thing I always tell folks, every high-tech gadget has a flaw. And you can always find a way of countering it, sabotage the GPS gadgets on your license tags and all that. And don't get too personal, social media, etc. Those are the areas people got to start looking at. Just give you an example. And there's no such thing as have nothing to hide. So you got nothing to hide, but don't tell me you got nothing to hide. Why should I comply with your thoughts? All right? Those are the areas you got to look at. The whole road to technocracy, Big Brother Orwellian 1984, not in 2021. Nothing new under the sun, nothing new to be exact, but it's getting too obvious. So, and I know I did one in Florida. They talk about limiting the stingrays too, which is good. And we can start all doing that. And I prefer folks go to 10thamendmentcenter.com. You can learn all about these things, okay? Because they're a great site, man. And I always support educational content. So I always tell folks go there. And there's a great amount of stuff, people out there how to counter these privacy gadgets. I still I'm doing my part as well. And remember, like I said, folks, every gadget has a flaw or weakness. Take advantage of it. And have fun with these people, man. They love to dish it out, but hate receiving. So, but what's great about it, we can use it on them. And they wouldn't like that. You know what? Too bad. You want to dish it out, you better learn to receive. So, always do due diligence and exercise your nature responsibly. All right, well, I'm going to do one more here on Unsung Heroes. Yep, February is Black History Month, right? Which is, always pay homage to folks of all walks of life made their contributions to the United States of America. Everyone, folks, ethnic groups don't matter, made great accomplishments. And this one here came from unsungheroesproject.com, J.D. Hall. That's Chris Ann Hall's husband. He's brilliant. And there's another educational lesson here, which the Black Lives Matter NA folks or these Orwellian sympathizers don't want you to know. All right, this is right here, hero at Bunker Hill. Peter Salem was born on October 1st, 1750, to a slave mother in Farmington Province of Massachusetts Bay. He fought in the opening battles of the American Revolution at Lexington and Concord as part of the Minutemen under Captain Simon Edgell. During his 5-year fighting for America's independence, he also served in Captain's Jury Company of Colonel John Nixon of 6th Massachusetts Regiment. Salem was one of the heroes at one of the most significant revolutionary battles, the Battle of Bunker Hill. A British commander, Major John Patercram, was shot at least a half dozen times in battle. The final shot was the fatal wound to the head. Peter Salem was one of those struck the major and according to some witnesses, he was the one who delivered the fatal blow. The Battle of Bunker Hill, which took place at Breeds Hill, was a tremendous morale boost for the Patriot cause. After being commanded not to fire until you see the whites of their eyes, the Patriots inflicted tremendous losses upon the advancing British troops. After being charged 3 times and running out of ammunition, the Patriots had to retreat to give up ground to the British. However, the British got the taste of what they were in for, and the Patriots realized that they could go toe-to-toe with the most powerful army in the planet. This was thanks to no small part to Peter Salem and at least a dozen other black patriots at Bunker Hill, including Philip Abbott, Brazilia Lou, Salem Poor, Tatus Coburn, Alexander Ames, Cato Howe, and Seymour Burr. Yes, this is the true great thing of what men have done to serve their cause for the principle of liberty. They're not going to teach you this in government schools. Marxist hacks despise this with a passion. And I believe it's beautiful. If you offend hacks like them, it's a plus in my book. And what else can I say? You pay homage to these individuals. Remember, there weren't rich white men that only fought in the War of Independence. The names I've mentioned made their contributions with due diligence. May their souls be forever free. And you spread this like fire, especially this month of February. Do it every day. Okay? And that will be it. Oops. I want to thank everyone for listening, but feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, and present something that's interesting you want to check out, wherever you do, please send your correspondence to Decorum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of these articles on my Spreaker page. And if you want to contact me, you can hit me at LokiLuck03@protonmail.com. If you want to donate, you can hit me at paypal.me or cash.app/LokiLuck3. And I encourage you folks to subscribe or support these two organizations, which I address their sites. That would be great as well. This is what we have to do. We all have our moral obligations to remain free from all forms of tyranny with no exceptions. All right, my friends. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on, spread the love. And may your guardian spirits be with you.